Okay. Good morning, everybody. Um, this is this is me when I wake up. I said I intended to do I intended to do this last night, so I had everything set up. The night just kind of got away from me, and so here I am. I'm having my morning coffee. I had some electrolytes already. I drink liquid IV before I get my coffee in me. But this is Jack in the morning. Um, I had seen um, I've seen a lot of people come over from the follow up that I did with Mark, and it's amazing. I appreciate everybody that has come over to take a look. It's greatly appreciated, and I'm a big fan of Mark. Um, I think he's a great man, and so thank you, Mark, thank you everybody that anybody that has come over from there. What he does is incredible. So I I've been thinking a lot about what has helped me get to where I am, um, as far as being clean and being alive, really, and being who I am today. And I think it was my second solo video on here. I think it's a short one and it ends abruptly, but it's about taking accountability for poor behavior and wasn't viewed that much, but I'm not really trying to base my decisions on what gets viewed the most. I'm just trying to stick to what I'm doing, and which I really am not sure of yet, but this is what it is. And so that video that I did, um, again, it's short and it abruptly ends because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I talk about a situation where when I first found out that my ex-wife was having an affair at the time. Um, and there were a few comments asking me, you know, where's part two? What happened? It ended because in the original video I had talked for another, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And then when I went and looked, my phone's memory was full. So it cut it off. And I apologize for that. Again, I'm learning. Um, but where that ended, I'm going to pick up where, I'll get to that. So I want to talk about how I got to there. So I got clean in California. And although so I'm involved. I'm a proud member of a 12-step program, and technically it's an anonymous program. And the you know if you follow it by the letter of the law, you're not supposed to talk about it in press, radio, or film. It's one of the traditions, one of the principles of the program. I find that not everybody knows about the program and what it offers, and we're supposed to it's about attraction rather than promotion. So we're not supposed to be like, hey, come join this. You're supposed to kind of find it on your own. But it helped save my life. And in the event that someone watching this doesn't know that it exists, I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous. I go to other meetings. I've been to AA. I've been to Overeaters Anonymous. I've been to Cocaine Anonymous. I've been to Sex and Love Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous. I've been to many different 12-step meetings. 12 steps are always the same, so it's really the same program, just kind of different flavors. Alcoholics Anonymous is where it all started. I'll give them their due. I do go to those meetings as well, but Narcotics Anonymous is what saved my life originally, this time in 2017. And the program works. And if anybody is struggling, my best friend 2 years ago, 2 Januaries ago, my best friend Riley we both had 5 years clean. We got clean right around the same time. And he played hardball in recovery. We played softball together and stuff. He played hardball and he dove for a ball and broke his wrist. His wrist came through the skin. It was a nasty injury. And he got put on medication. And six to 8 months later, we lost him. He had moved to the Dominican Republic, was living a beautiful life, was working remotely, had a little girl. And he flew me out to visit him. It was an amazing 4 days at his place out there in the Dominican Republic. So I got to spend time with him before that happened. And I cherished that time that I got to spend with him in the end. But there's no reason, with the program existing and with so many options, there's no reason for any more people to die if they want help. And so I feel like it's okay. It's technically not okay to talk about the program in detail, but I just wanted to briefly mention that originally Narcotics Anonymous and men in Narcotics Anonymous saved my life. So now we get to that video that I made about where I had a gun in my mouth. I had a lapse in judgment, obviously, but that was a really hard time. And still, as a member of Narcotics Anonymous, I was able to stay clean through that. But once I actually separated and got myself out of the house that I had been living in with my ex-wife and the kids, because the man 2 doors down was who the affair was with, and today they're still together and they just had a baby and they're happy, and I'm completely okay with it. I'm happy for them today. At the time, it was difficult. Now to show you, so if you watch that video about me and the gun, that wasn't how I dealt with the whole situation. That momentary lapse in judgment was pretty much the only negative behavior I had. Very soon thereafter, I comprehended what was going on, and I walked a couple doors down and knocked on the neighbor's door and asked him to come to my house so that I could have a conversation with him. I was home alone. He came by and we talked for about an hour, and I just asked him honest questions. I asked him who he was, because I didn't really know who he was, and I wanted to know who was going to be around my son. So we had an open and honest conversation for about an hour in my living room. I asked him why he thought it was okay to have sex with my wife. We had like a hard conversation, and there was no yelling. There was no nastiness. It was just two guys talking. I just needed to understand why he thought it was okay to start a relationship with a married woman. And in the end, I'm pretty sure I told him that, like, I just want her to be happy, and if you are what makes her happy now, then so be it. I made vows saying that I would like try to take care of her, and if being with you is what that looks like, although I hate it, I don't like any of this, it is what it is. And that was a hard conversation. That conversation was difficult, but I handled it as an adult, and it was okay. So then I leave. I move out. And although I was capable, of having, mature conversations like that, I was struggling, and I needed being clean and NA and chatting with my friends wasn't enough. It wasn't doing the trick. I was discontent. I was, I mean, sad doesn't really do the trick, but I can't, I was devastated. I was betrayed. I was distraught. I felt unworthy, a lot of the stuff, for a lot of the same feelings from my past um, came back up. And that's okay. I hated it. I couldn't sleep, couldn't really eat. But my friends, rallied around me, and but I needed more. And my friend Daniel, who I interviewed, my second video, Daniel, was talking to him one day, and he said, I do a Bible study every morning, um, for like an hour, hour and a half on Zoom with these other men. Maybe you should check it out. And initially, I thought that was silly. My immediate thought was like, what could a Bible study do for me? I just my wife just had an affair. Like, I'm upset. I just need, like, how is that going to help? But being desperate for just like a reprieve from my feelings, I just needed like my mind to stop torturing me. And so I said, okay. And I started to go. There's a plane going over. I don't know if you guys hear it. So I started to go to this Bible study. And at first, it was really hard to understand for me. I believe we started in John. Um, and so, in my mind, I'm like, oh, my name's John, and we're starting in John. Maybe this is a sign. And, I'm trying to put things together to make me believe in what I'm doing. But it was difficult. The language was hard to understand. But the men in there, the first day welcomed me in and were calling me by my first name, and asking me how I was doing. Not just asking me, hey, what do you think about what we just read, but asking me how I'm doing. And after the Bible study was over, staying on the Zoom call and talking with me, not just Daniel, but like some other guys. And not right away, but, doing that every morning, it just started my day right. Sometimes they would play a worship song, which I had never really listened to. And at first, if I'm being honest, I wasn't that into, but, some of them ended up being amazing. And sometimes they bring tears to my eyes. And these men really lifted me up through Jesus. And I know that it's okay. Like, I'm not saying that if your life is a mess and you want to fix it, Jesus will cast a spell and fix your life. And I'm not saying any of that. This is just my personal experience. When friendship and NA and, my will to work out and keep my mind occupied, when that wasn't enough and I needed more, I'm just saying that these men coming together with a group of 10 or so men and reading the Bible and talking about what it means to us, because everybody has a different opinion. We read a couple sentences, and almost nobody has the same understanding of it. And we're reading from a bunch of different versions of the Bible, which to me is crazy. Why are there different versions of the Bible? But that's another thing. But I started to take bites of what they were telling me, and I was able to get it down and digest it. And that is what allowed me to get through that period, and to forgive for what had happened. And I wasn't, it wasn't like I was being asked for forgiveness. That wasn't a thing. I just offered it. It was for me. Wasn't like somebody kept saying, I'm so sorry for this and please forgive me. No, it wasn't like that. It was like, hey, I'm making this decision for me because I'm happy and you're going to fucking deal with it. And so I said, okay. What are you supposed to do? No, please. No, it's not who I am. Not clean anyway. Um, so I had to deal with it. And prayer and the Bible study really got me over the hump. It connected me with some men. Um, and I had mentioned this before about not taking credit for things and just giving it to God. None of this was me; it was all God. In this scenario, when I'm talking about getting through my divorce over the betrayal and stuff, I was only able to do it with the help of my friends, NA, and God, who I refer to as Jesus, God. It's all the same. Insert whatever makes you comfortable in what I'm saying. Insert that. We're all talking about the same thing: nature, the universe, science, whatever. Like, I'm not. This place is not to find differences. It's just to find a common ground, common feelings, and to understand that that's okay. And we get through it. It's going to suck. Like, I'm not here to tell you that things aren't going to suck. Life sucks sometimes. But I believe that it's just to make us appreciate the beauty. There has to be contrast in everything. There has to be, and I don't like it. I don't like not knowing where rent money's going to come from. I don't like, I don't like having my feelings hurt. I don't like when family members die. It's just the way it goes. And going through those things allows you to feel certain ways so that when that happens to someone that you care about or a stranger, you can go to them and say, hey, I wish I could take the pain away. It's just not how it works. And this is going to suck. And I've been there, but like, if you need anything, please let me know. There's nothing I can say that's going to take this pain away from you. And this is going to be hard. But I've been there. And, I wish that I had somebody that could have maybe just given me a hug or maybe taken me out for some food, whatever the case may be. Is there anything that I can do? And people will probably say, no, there's nothing you can do. Keep trying. Just be there just in case. Be there to listen. I just would not have made it through that. I made it through. I decided to go to the Bible study. I decided to go to NA meetings. I decided to reach out to my friends and call for help. Yes, I made those decisions. But like, without me praying for, like, wisdom and courage and to put some forgiveness in my heart on my own, I don't think I would have. I couldn't see myself forgiving someone for doing that to me, just out of the goodness of my heart. I had to ask repeatedly for that to be brought to me so that I could show it. Like, I did it with the help and with the guidance from a power greater than myself, whatever you want to call that. And that's just my belief. It's just my opinion. And it's okay if you don't agree. I'd love it if you do agree. It's okay if you don't. And it's just something that I've been thinking a lot about. And I'm trying to Friday mornings I'm trying to come out with stuff. Sundays I'm trying to put things out on certain days. Like, trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now I think I want to do, I don't know, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. I'm still learning, but I'm going to get at least 3 videos out a week. I have 2 really interesting people very different people that I'm going to be interviewing. One man's name is Bobby. He is he is an actor, both in on the stage and in film and TV. He was in Narcos. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and I met him at a wedding in Mexico, and he's a very interesting man. He's a Puerto Rican man from New York, so he's great. He is not, and his interview is going to be different. He's not in recovery. Um, he doesn't need to be. He's a solid man. But then I also have an interview with a friend from the program named uh, Johnny L, and I think that is going to be fantastic. I don't know I don't know his story that well, but I do know that his story is wild because some of my best friends have told me, and so I look forward to getting to know Johnny better with you guys on here and girls. If I ever say you guys, it's just a for I don't mean you men. I love that women are here. Um, I like women. I get along with what I was raised by women. Um, Thank you for being here, all the ladies and guys. I'm not leaving you guys out. I believe most of the people here are men. It's changing a little bit from the soft white underbelly. Um, I've noticed some females are coming over from there, and I can't thank you enough. Um, I just really, I'm really grateful to be able to sit in my living room and have my morning coffee after just waking up with you guys and girls, with everyone. I hope, I hope, I hope that everyone's comfortable here. I've been getting some awesome comments, and I'm going to get comments that I don't like. Another thing that I can't wait to do, that I have the option to do now, is to go live, so I can. I need to see how it works, but I can go live and answer questions. I think it even gives me the ability to bring somebody up with me on like a split screen. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I want to do a live where people could ask me questions. And they could be deep, they could be silly, like what do I eat for breakfast, or they could be something about how were you groomed by that teacher coach back in the day, like how did you not know what was going on, which is that's an excellent question because I actually did know what was going on after a certain period of time, and I didn't know how to get out of it. um, it was just like any other toxic relationship where you're made to believe that you're the crazy one and what's going on is normal, and if you're nobody without me, and it's an interesting one. I don't know why I just brought that up or thought of that, um but I still think about that stuff a lot. It's just, it doesn't affect me in a negative way, but that man had a huge impact on who I am. I had to do so much work to get over. I don't know if I want to call it get over, but to work through that mess. I think I'm gonna make. So I've been wanting to. I would actually really like the opinion of everyone in here. I've been wanting to make a video describing from start to finish my relationship with that man, with Bob Dacey, who abused me when I was a kid, my teacher, coach. Been wanting to make a video specifically, and I know my soft white underbelly interview, the first one, talks about, if this was our whole story together, it talks about this much of it. That just talks about the like acute abuse that happened. But that wasn't how it started. That wasn't how it ended. And I just wonder if it would be in poor taste, or if I know that a lot of people from my hometown would be interested to hear that, but I don't think anyone from my hometown is subscribed to this because I haven't really told anybody that I'm doing it. I haven't posted on, on social media or anything that I'm doing this. I just kind of am trying to let it organically happen. But I know that people from my hometown and kids that I grew up with would would be interested in hearing it, even if it's just to hear the gory details. I know that they would be interested in hearing it, but I want to know what y'all think. Would it be in poor taste for me to make a video explaining how my relationship with him started, how he groomed me, what I thought was happening, but what was actually happening now looking in hindsight? I just thought that it could be useful and productive for parents with young kids, um, just for people like us to see patterns in manipulative relationships. I think it could be useful for anyone who's been through it. Maybe some of the details they'll be like, "Holy shit, man, me too." And I think that all of those are useful for parents, for other people that have been through abuse, for people who have never experienced it that are just curious. But if you could please let me know with the comment. And if you say, no, I don't want to hear that, that's fine. But if you could please, as many people as possible, because this only works with all of you. If no one's here and I'm just sitting here doing this, then I'm a crazy person. Then I would just, you know what I mean? It doesn't work without you. And so your opinion matters. I still don't have a name for this, obviously, but I'd really like to know if you would be interested or uninterested in me describing how I met that man, how he treated me in the beginning, little things that happened. There's some stuff. There's some strange stuff from him driving a couple cities over while I'm hanging out with a girl from another city and going to their high school, another city's high school gym teacher, and telling him that, like, I'm a known rapist and not to let him around his students. Um, Him sneaking around in my backyard trying to watch me masturbate to pornography when I was in high school. Um, Me taking a shower at his house and seeing him on his roof looking in the window watching me shower. There's so much. There's so much stuff to unpack in that. Um, I've never told the whole. I've never sat down and done all that in one meal, in one sitting. So please let me know if that sounds interesting. I'm gonna finish my coffee. Um, my son already had some yogurt with some cut up strawberries, so he's good. But I need to get some food in me so I don't disappear. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. And if you comment, I love you for that. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter what you're going through. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday.